Welcome back to Studio 10.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Picture this. Giant oysters set up all around downtown Mobile. That will be a reality starting tomorrow. Now, this is part of the Mobile Bay Oyster Gardening Program's effort to educate about the importance of oyster reefs in Mobile Bay. It's called the Oyster Trail. So, PJ, what is the Oyster Trail?
The Oyster Trail is a project of the Mobile Bay Oyster Gardening Program where we set about trying to expand our reach in an effort to reach out to people that have a large impact on the oysters, benefit greatly from the oysters, but may not know a lot about the oysters.
So the fiberglass oysters are going to be set up in different places around Mobile, and it's kind of a learning experience for folks living in the area and also visiting the area.
Absolutely. Each oyster sponsored by local businesses or organizations has some factual piece of information that's on the plaque, and our hope is that people will walk around, see each of the oysters, enjoy some of the really incredible artwork that the artists have done, but also learn something about the oysters.
Kind of reminds me of the pelicans that you see in Pensacola. This is in Mobile. We're using oysters, and I think that may be what some people are asking. Why oysters?
Why oysters? Well, our gardeners have been raising oysters for more than a decade, helping to restore the reefs in Mobile Bay. They're such an important species in the ecology of the bay, and so to have a giant oyster sort of helps us bring that message home. Plus, they're really good to eat, so everybody can identify with the oyster.
That's right, very popular here in the South. So 12 oysters set up around Mobile. Different local artists working on each one of the oysters, and Lucy is one of the artists. She's working so hard right now. So Lucy, how long have you been working on this particular oyster?
Well, I had sketches done a few months ago, and I slowly worked on those and had those approved by my sponsor, who is the Mobile Bay Convention and Visitors Bureau, and I recently just started making real progress this past week.
It's incredible. How did you decide what you wanted to put on an oyster?
Well, really, because of my sponsor, it wasn't up to me. Since they represent Mobile and tourism and just promoting the city, they wanted me to try to incorporate as many places and events, just kind of represent Mobile as much as I could on one statue. So I have lots of stuff going on this.
So how many landmarks and scenes are you going to have when all is said and done?
Let's see, probably around 8 or 9.
Wow, and this is a huge fiberglass oyster. You're going to cover the entire thing front and back, right?
Yes, entire thing front and back, yep.
So how many hours do you spend on this a day? How long will it take you approximately?
I'm not going to keep up with it because it's going to take me a while. I want to do a really good job since it's going to be out in the public for everybody to see. You know, I represent my city and myself well, so it's going to take a long time. Very
cool. Now these oysters are all going to be unveiled this summer. 6 of them are going to be unveiled tomorrow.
Yes, we've got them at Wenzel's, at Cathedral Square, Bienville Square, the Convention Center, the Hampton Inn, and Spanish Plaza. And then the last 6 will go out later in the summer, like you said, and those places are still being determined.
And Lucy's still working on hers. Hers is going to go out later this summer, so we'll have to wait a little bit longer for hers. But 5 o'clock tomorrow, just any of those places?
Any of those places downtown. Come on out and check them out. When you've seen the one that you started at, take the time and walk around downtown. See the whole trail and all the other things that we have downtown to go out and do. It's a lot of fun.
I always love neat new things for our area. Here's another look at the places where you can see the giant fiberglass oysters tomorrow evening. The Convention Center, Hampton Inn, Cathedral Square, Bienville Square, Spanish Plaza, and Wenzel's. And you can walk around and see all of them if you want. They'll all be unveiled at 5 o'clock. And this is just the beginning of the Oyster Trail. Hope is that over time, the trail will extend around Mobile Bay. Those are pretty neat, huh, Danny?
Absolutely neat. Good.